Hey, how you going? Claire Williamson here. Absolutely blessed to have you here in this event this weekend where I'm going to be doing some coaching. And one of the big evolutions this year for me has been really identifying my mission. That burning desire I have to make a difference. What it actually is, how I actually do it, and also all of the things that were holding me back from it as well. So one of my mission, or my main mission, is to help other people like me, right? Those people who have a soul goal, that feel that burning desire to be something, do something, but there's a limit, right? And my coaching has always been about helping people get over those limits, and the biggest limit is often ourselves. So I've been throwing around some online courses this year, and I know that it's not my biggest way to make an impact. I thrive when I'm coaching one-on-one, when I'm getting a person in front of me and hearing their story and hearing what it is that is, sometimes we don't know what's holding us back, right? But giving that information and me holding a mirror up to you is the way that I powerfully shift people forward. So I thought, right, okay, let's do this. Fresh out of Rank Makers live, full of beans, excitement, slight bags under the eyes because it was intense, right? We learned a lot. We got really inspired, and now comes the peace, the transformation, the taking action. And I know, coming back from an experience like Play to Win, you've got all these big dreams, big ideas, big energy, and then you walk back into real world. It's funny, it was a reality show, but the reality was when I came home, when I had my children, I'll just get rid of this. I had my children hanging off my legs and wanting mummy. I had people looking at me sort of a little bit unsure as to what I'd done, why the hell I'd done it. I even got some little criticisms as well. I remember walking back into my gym and somebody going, "Oh, hey, it's Claire, world famous in, oh yeah, Tauranga." So, you come out of this reality show back into reality, and suddenly the action piece gets tough because we're triggered. We're triggered by all those things that are actually holding us back, those things that are major parts of our story. So yeah, I'm gonna dig into all of this weekend. I've made some notes, but those people who are holding themselves back, who are stuck in their story, that is the person that I can help. So if you're here, then that's awesome. But you've got to engage with me. This weekend is about engagement. It's about sharing. We're all women and we share something amazing in common. We're all women on a mission, and I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to have that burning desire, to see other people with a problem that you can fix. One of the big things that I connected with this weekend in the Rank Makers Live event was why I am so hell-bent on fixing people. And it was because of my mum. I grew up with a mum who had bipolar, and I think as children we interpret everything, don't we? We interpret everything in terms of our self-worth and our safety. And when I had my mum and the way, when somebody has bipolar, you never know what's coming, right? It's like walking on eggshells all of the time. There are the big reactions, there's this intense sadness and you can't figure out what's so bad. I think growing up in that situation, I thought all of that stuff was normal, and it's only really been recently that I've started to realize that it's not normal. It's not normal to have had the upbringing that I had, and those big reactions, they aren't normal, right? So I always wanted to fix my mum. I always wanted to help my mum. I could see my mum in pain and I wanted to fix her, and I never could. So I think I came out of my childhood on a mission, right, to fix something, to feel that satisfaction of actually fixing something. And that's how I found myself in coaching. And by fixing you, I'm fixing me, and I'm fixing what I could never fix in the past. And so I'm blessed to have you here. But I want you to engage this weekend. I want you to be sharing with me, what is your story? What is holding you back? What is the biggest obstacle right now for you when it comes to taking action? What is that feeling that you get, that you know what you have to do, but when you go to do it, suddenly the phone becomes heavy, or suddenly the washing up really needs to get done right now, or, oh my goodness, I'm really tired, I should take a lie down. It's like, what is that for you? Because I'm going to help you go through that this weekend. So as I say, my strength is one-on-one coaching. It is getting somebody in front of me and helping you go forward. I do have tangible tools, though, that I've created over the last few years, courses, techniques, powerful techniques that my clients will say to you, like, they work, right? It's like having a toolbox. It's like wearing a tool belt, that when they get into certain situations, they can reach into their tool belt, pull out a tool, and then they're helping themselves. So tangible tools, one-to-one coaching. And ultimately, I was the person who was overwhelmed by this burning mission, right? Overwhelmed by it, felt it, couldn't really put the pieces together to be able to see where I wanted to make an impact, how I was going to do it. And I was frustrated by the action that I was taking, which to me felt big, having a very small impact. And we were also broke, man. We were so broke. 2.5 years ago, I was down on my hands and knees in a food bank asking for food to feed my children. And I think, out of everything that's gone on in my life, that was the lowest moment for me, because I have these two beautiful children. And if you saw my Play to Win episode, they're everything, right? There's nothing in this world, I think, that means more to me than them. And I felt like I failed them. I felt like I was, in this journey of entrepreneurship, I'd done it for them, and because of it, I was hurting them, because I could not get my business off the ground. And ultimately, Play to Win made me realize why. And it's because I've always pushed my power down. When I was a child, the other thing about having a mum with bipolar is that I couldn't do anything right, ever. Sometimes I'd do something, oh man, I mean, I have this memory of teasing my brother with a hairbrush. It's stupid, right? He's lying on the couch, I've got the hairbrush, and I'm teasing him. I'm like, I'm going to hit you in the head with the tip. I had no intention of hitting my brother with this hairbrush, but I kind of enjoyed his reaction of going, no, no, no. And we're kids. I think we were like, I was maybe 7, he was 5, 4. And so I accidentally hit him with this hairbrush, and it must have just caught one of those veins on the top of his head. I don't really know, I don't really remember, but I know that it bled. And I went running into my mum, and I said, Mum, I've hurt James. And she just looked at me like she was going to kill someone, and she chased me. And I thought she was running to my brother. She ran straight by my brother and looked at me again with that look of, I'm going to kill you, and chased me up the stairs. And I remember running into my bedroom and pushing the door shut, and her, like, with all my weight, fighting to keep this door shut. And she was yelling at me, and she wanted to get in, and she was going to kill me. And, and all this time, all I can think is my brother's down there with his head bleeding. So it was situations like that, right, where I think I really grew this belief deep down that I wasn't good enough, and when I did stuff, it was likely to be wrong. I think that in my mind, in my story, when I was raped, it confirmed that story. It's like, well, I went out into the world to travel and chase the dream, and I got it fucking wrong, because it ended up being one of the worst things, And it's like, we have these stories, right? We have these stories, and they hold us back. And sometimes we don't really understand to what extent they're holding us back. So, in Play to Win, I realized that because of my story, which I thought I'd healed from, that I thought I was living outside of, I was pushing this power down, and I was in this survival mode that, I think we get into when we're trying to exist in the reality of that story. We're not thriving. We're not being all of who we can be. And there's a lot of fear. For me, the fear was around authenticity, vulnerability. And because of that, I was not showing up purposefully and I was not showing up powerfully. So since Play to Win, that is what I've been working on, because when we're holding back in any way, we are not aligned and we're not open to our abundance. And law of attraction stuff is, if you coach with me, you get a lot of that. I love it. I believe in it. And when we're holding back, it's energetic. It's energetically blocking the abundance that we want in our life. And that abundance includes that mission that we're on, right? Those people that we see, that we know we can serve, we can help. But if we're blocking that powerful, purposeful action, then we're not going to make that impact. And so since Play to Win, the key things I've been working on are self-discovery, becoming intimate with that story, as uncomfortable as it is, right? Just really understanding it, living through it so I could see, understand, feel the purpose in that pain. I've been getting clear on my vision. I know as a coach, this is always 100% of the time something missing. We think that we see where we want to be, but we don't see it as big and as powerful and as clear as it can be, because that story holds us back from that. Our brain is a logic, meaning-making machine, right? So it's going to curb that vision. It's going to curb that vision to what we believe is possible, what we believe is true. And a lot of the time what we believe is truth is bullshit. And so I help you get outside of those boxes and see a vision so clearly that you can feel it. And in that feeling of it, you're manifesting it, right? I've got to be okay with myself and these unique qualities that before I would have seen as flaws. Seeing myself back on Play to Win was a really interesting experience, because I got to see myself through the eyes of others. And also getting to know, just becoming comfortable with who you are is seeing yourself, right? Because a lot of the time we're scared to look. We're scared to watch those Facebook Live videos back because they make us cringe. And we said that and we looked like this and our hair was, and but in feeling the vulnerability of that, we get to know ourselves and we get to see ourselves in a different way and appreciate the unique qualities that we have. And I help people dig those unique qualities out, right? Those things that make you to your advantage. I've been getting out of survival mode. I now consider myself #recovered survivor. A lot of people are like, way, big up, I'm a survivor, I've survived this trauma. I actually believe it's not about that, because when we're surviving, we're still living within those beliefs. We're still living within those stories. We're still surviving in a world that was created out of that trauma, and we're not thriving. So I'm a recovered survivor, #recovered survivor. If you want to come with me in that, let me help you with these tools I have. A recovered survivor has shifted out of that story, has a vision that deserves your soul goal, because I know inside your soul is a goal that is burning to live out, and it can just be one small thing that has to shift to let it live out. And I spoke to a lot of people at Rank Makers in exactly that position, anyway, the other thing about surviving is we're doing, right? We're doing a lot of doing, and we struggle to just be, because when we just be, we connect with all the pain in here. And I think that's where I was, that I didn't realize how much pain still was there until Play to Win. And I was put in that situation of Ray and Jessica interviewing me, and I couldn't run away. And I was almost surprised that they brought it up and that they were interested in it, because of that, that whole self-esteem thing, that worthiness. I felt like it was not a story that deserved to be heard. And when Jessica got up and she walked towards me, I was momentarily confused as to why. And that's the thing, right? We believe these things that are not a truth. Everybody has a story, and everybody's story deserves to be heard. And so many people came up to me at the weekend at Rankmakers Live and said, you know, you've got to, Claire, you've got to keep sharing your story, because there's people out there who will benefit from hearing it. And I needed to hear that. I needed to hear that because I think through this whole Play to Win journey, it's been about reliving, I think, a lot of stuff that I buried down, but in reliving it, I've been releasing it. By sharing it, I'm releasing it. And it's key that I'm not just sharing that it happened, I'm sharing how I moved forward, right? So I'm giving people hope, I'm giving people tools, I'm giving people resources, and that's what you have as well. That's what you have to give to your people that you want to help, or whatever mission it is that you're on. So you have to start sharing your story, and you have to connect with that pain. And it gets less painful. It does get less painful, but I see a lot of people I see a lot of people distracting, I see a lot of people, you know, on various courses and you know, giving lots of excuses and being busy in life as well, children, housework, whatever. But for me, as a recovered survivor, I know that you're just avoiding being, because when we connect with that pain and it hurts. But believe me, there is purpose in that pain. I can help you find it, and that is where you start impacting other people. So I'm going to help you get there this weekend. I'm excited. Today is all about those questions that I asked in the introduction posts, like why are you here? What impact do you want to make? What's blocking you? What's your story? Like, use me this weekend. Use me and abuse me, because I'm here for you, to give you coaching one-on-one. I'll be answering those questions directly, coaching on them, and then tomorrow we'll be going into tangible tools and resources that I have available for you to continue on this journey. So I hope you'll come along this journey with me. Really excited, blessed to have you here. The people that I met, I know a lot who have said interested on the event are Rankmakers people, are from Rankmakers Live. What you gave to me this week in terms of inspiration, I don't have the words to say how thankful I am. So if I can give anything back over the next 48 hours, I'm going to do it. Okay, so I'll leave it there. Make sure you can either comment under the post or start a fresh thread. Maybe ask other people if they're in the same position as you. Let's help each other. We are a community of powerful women. We are no longer pushing our power down. We're going to let those soul goals live out this weekend, and I'm excited. Let's go. Okay, bye-bye.